Hello, all you YouTubers who watch slot car racing stuff on TV. I'm Ted. This is the BP Slot Racing Channel, and welcome to the second edition of Couple of Things Thursday, where I share with you a couple of things I did, or a couple of things I learned, or a couple of things I bought, just a couple of things. So, hang in there with me. We'll get started. Okay, first on the agenda today is about 6 months ago, I guess it was, I was watching Dave there at the Slot R uh, channel uh, from the UK. And I like watching Dave because he's got a lot of cool things going on. Anyway, I watch a lot of you, and that's where I get a lot of my information from. And one of the things Dave highlighted during his video was this little device right here. Some of you, I'm sure, already know what it is. Some of you have seen it before. But yeah, it turns out this is a really nice aftermarket, and I call it an analog controller because it's not wireless. Okay, let's call it a wired controller. How about that? Anyway, and yeah, he was pointing out that the cost was reasonable on this. They weren't really expensive, and when I did a little bit of research, I noticed that yes, he's right. They're in some cases as much as $100 difference in price. You can spend a lot of money on a nice controller, but this has all the features that you would need. The trigger tension is adjustable. Of course, it's got the lane change button here. You can buy a feature that has a brake button here. I wasn't sure how I would use that feature. And then, of course, just a simple sensitivity control. And I got to tell you, I've been really enjoying this. It takes a little bit of getting used to from the standard Carrera controller here. You know, going from pushing button to going from a plunger style throttle to trigger style. Sometimes sometimes I miss this trigger here in favor of the one on the back, because you actually have to change your grip a bit in order to use it. Not much, but it's something you get used to. Anyway, it has. I used it this Christmas, racing with my family, and yeah, this is like a Cadillac compared to the Carrera controllers. But one of the things that Dave pointed out was he wished that this handle here was a little grippier and had some finger grips like the Carrera controller, like you see here. These finger grips. And you know, he's probably right. This does feel good. It feels good. The fingers light up and everything. And on this type of controller, I suspect that this is really comes in handy. I didn't find that so much with the TRUSPEED controller. That's what this is. This is the TRUSPEED for Carrera. But I knew instantly what I was going to do, and that was I was going to go ahead, being an ex-gunsmith, locate some pistol grips for this. Now these are universal size. It's a pistol grip, so it gives you some nice rubber feel, very grippy. And if you notice these two little notches here, well, what I tried to do was, as Dave suggested, give it a little bit of grip, and that's actually what I did here. And I did that simply by using a piece of balsa wood, about 1/2 inch wide and maybe 2 mils thick. And it actually slid up here fairly easily. And then to add the notches here, the bumps, I went ahead and glued a couple of more pieces, made it 2 mils thicker in just the right place here, and I've got myself a really nice grip with some finger grip in there. So Dave, if you're watching, you might try that. might come up with a better idea or a better way. Um, these grips are really very flexible, and you can stuff a lot under here. They stretch, and I didn't have any trouble even after I put the grip on sliding that piece of wood up through here, even with these two grip bumps on it. So yeah, they went right up in there. Anyway, so that's item number one. I really like this speed controller. It is very well priced, very competitively priced, and it's about all I need. I'm sure there's fancier ones. I know there are that you can spend a lot of money on. The other feature is that you can remove this trigger here and put on a longer trigger, but I find that the longer trigger actually interferes with my ring finger or my middle finger. This is the short one, and as you can see, it just barely clears. I sometimes have to shift it to get behind it. So maybe a longer trigger. It's not that much longer, but I noticed that you've only got two fingers and your thumb to grip. This is a much more secure grip, even just adding this one finger to the lineup. So I just use the single figure trigger. So there's that. Yeah, good value. Good luck trying to find one. Electric Dreams, I ordered one from them. It came and it was not technically defective. It was a manufacturing error and not a defect. And I waited and waited and waited for them to get them back in stock, and they're still out of stock, last I saw. So I actually ordered this direct from the UK. And yeah, by the time you pay that and shipping, it actually is a few dollars less than Electric Dreams. I think it was $81 to purchase it and have it shipped from the UK. And I think I paid $86 to have it shipped from Electric Dreams. But anyway, and I was going to hold out for Electric Dreams, but they didn't have it. They didn't get it. They didn't know when they were going to get it. So there it is. Okay, a couple of things I discovered, or at least one thing I discovered. Some of you may recognize these stock car models from Carrera. These really actually run quite fine, but I burned up the motor. Yes, I did. I burned up the motor on this one and my Superbird, the one with the wing on it. And I couldn't figure out why these motors were burned out so easily and quickly. And I discovered, or I suspect, that it was my tire truing method that actually destroyed these motors. Now, on some of the other cars with smaller diameter wheels, yeah, there's a gear difference here. I could chew these tires up on a piece of track, and my paint stick here covered with sandpaper, no problem. But I have a feeling that when I did it on this particular car here, and the other one, with the larger tire diameter, larger wheel, it put more of a strain on the motor. So when they tell you that using that method, that track method, will burn up your motor, you need to believe them. Yeah, I actually had to replace two of these. I replaced them with the Piranha, which are reasonably priced. I think they were $15 or $18 a piece, which is not a lot. But I wound up having to replace them both. And they're pre-wired, even though I could have just taken the wires off of here and put them on any other motor. So tell me what you think about the Piranha motors. These are 18,000 RPM, I think, and the Piranhas are 21.5, something like that. So these do run really well on the track now. But yeah, they started acting up, hesitating. I could push it, it'd go a little bit, and then it would make a rattling noise, and anyway. All the other cars were running good, so I eliminated the track and the controller and the CU and all that other stuff. Anyway, it turned out it was these motors. So after that debacle, like many of you probably already have done, is I started researching tire truers, and I was a little bit shocked. Yeah, they're not giving those things away. I think the only thing more expensive are the conversion box to analog. But anyway, yeah, the tire truers, I've seen now the price down as low as about $190. And that just seems an awful lot to True Tires. But if you do a lot of them, that's going to pay off in the long run. But I'm just a hobbyist, you know. I don't race, technically speaking. So I got to doing some research, of course, on YouTube. And you guys are probably familiar with Johnnie Hobby. Well, he showcased on one of his videos this device here. And what this is it's a let's get you in focus here. Yeah, there we go. He showcased this device here, which is a 3D printed prototype of a tire truer, and he said you could put it together for like $40. Well, that interested me a lot, as you know. So it actually works quite well, and I'm going to go ahead and put the axle here from this Fernando Alonso Ferrari here, and go ahead and true up these crappy tires. I found this one online, and I had to pay a little for it. They're kind of a premium, and the back tires, of course, were just crap. But otherwise, it was in fine condition, and so I'm starting my collection. I'll never catch up to Massimo there at MP Slots, and I'm not going to try to. But I do like the Formula One cars, and Carrera makes them in 132, but they tend to be older versions because they don't seem to be making them now. I don't know if it has to do with licensing or what. But we're going to pull the axle off of here, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the use of this tire truer here. So this tire truer is completely 3D printed, and there's 4 or 5 pieces here that are critical to the operation of it. A couple of things to note if you're going to attempt this project is when you get the plans, and Johnnie Hobby has made these plans available. You can go to his YouTube channel and check out the video about this particular tire truer, and he has provided the specifications and the files that you can download, and also a parts list. So I thought, well, I'll give that a try. You know, I'm a hobbyist. I like doing hobbies. So I thought, well, I'll give that a try. And my son happens to have a 3D printer. So I sent him the files, and this is what I got back. Plus a few other parts here, some spares, axles. One of the things that you'll notice about this kit is there's probably 2 or 3 different types of plastic that you can use in it. This particular plastic has got a kind of a shiny sheen to it. It's a little bit weird. Johnny had every part a different color, which made it kind of interesting. But this actually works. The one he demonstrated works also. There's a couple of things, though, you're going to want to note. Okay? The motor he used here was out of a riding toy for one of his kids. And it has probably an 11 or 12 tooth gear on it. And if you follow the link, it'll take you to an Amazon page where you can buy like 2 of these for, I don't know, $20. And it comes with a pinion gear. The problem is it's a 10-tooth pinion, and so what I found out is that when I went to try to assemble it the first time, this pinion gear here wouldn't fit on this particular pinion. So I contacted him. He's real congenial, and he said, "Oh yes," he says, "I've got," and so he sent me the file for the correct pinion gear. Okay, when you get the motor, they're going to send you 3 different pinion gears, and I didn't know you could do 10-tooth pinion gears in 3 different sizes, but evidently you can. And so I found the one that fit the this particular pulley here. And then you'll need to get some O-rings, simple O-rings. It was trial and error on this O-ring because this pinion pulley here is a little bit smaller in diameter than the one that he specs this for. And so you actually have to go with a little bit smaller diameter, or yeah, smaller diameter. And I don't mean in girth, I mean in diameter. O-ring. The 2 bearings here, easy to get. They fit right in there, no problems at all. I had to do a little trimming and sanding and everything to get everything to go together really nice, but that's just, you know, there's some flash here. It's not a perfect, I had him do it at his machine's best resolution, and this is the best I got here. I did break one of these pins, and he printed me up 2 or 3 more just in case, fitting it all together. And I bought a thumb screw at the local hardware store. I got the bolt here. The spring for this is nothing more than an ink pen spring. I don't know if you can see it in there or not. Yeah, this spring right here is just from an ink pen, basically. You just need a little something to push pressure up here, so that you can adjust the height above your sanding blocks. And then this sanding block here, he did a really nice job in designing and developing this. It slides fairly easily. It's very nice, and yeah, I haven't trued a tire on it yet, but why don't we do that now? Should I do it? Okay. Oh, there's one other thing. This is the axle pulley, and I'm going to be installing that here very soon. And I think it was 440 grub screws that fit in here. But the way this is made on a 3D printer is it's formed flat first, and it puts layers and layer and layer and layer. So he actually made 2 or 3 of these for me, and when I first went to thread the grub screws in there, it actually split, because this is nothing but layers and layers of plastic, and you can split it fairly easily. So I got to thinking, well, what can I do to prevent that? And, you know, you can get them in there. You can turn it in a little bit, and then turn it out a little bit. Turn it in a little bit. Turn it out a little bit. And let me see if I got. That's the one. Now you can turn it in and then back it out a little bit, and turn it in a little bit more. What I wound up doing was, I chucked it up in my vise, and I put just enough pressure against it to keep it from splitting, and then squeezed in the vise. I started slowly but surely driving them in and back out again, and I've actually got one here that isn't split. The other 2 are definitely split. I'm not sure that would hurt the performance of them. I haven't tried, I haven't bothered. So let's get this hooked up to the axle on this Formula 1 car here. See if this actually works. I've already mounted an axle, but it didn't need to be trued. I wanted to make sure that I had my, that's how I found out that the length of my O-rings was a little off. Oh, I'm missing one. There it is. Because when I got it on there, it wouldn't spin. It wouldn't spin the axle. It was just too loose. Okay. Now, I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to do that. Well, yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know if this axle is wide enough. No, I can't use this. Yeah, the axle on this Formula One car isn't wide enough to fit between the gap here. So yeah, this is Carrera Formula One specific, real narrow. So let's pull the body off of the Roadrunner there, and we'll try that. So while I'm doing this, I wish you a Merry Christmas, even though it's a couple days after Christmas. We had a good Christmas here, and I got a set of wireless controllers. So now I've got, we're not limited by space in my room. At least two of the drivers can sit wherever they like. I encourage them to sit at the far end of the track, and that makes it perfect for marshalling cars. If you don't want to get up and move to the other end, you just make them do it, because it's their job. Okay, this is going to be an easy one. Just have to pop these out. Okay, so I'm going to put this on this side. Oh, gee, there's hair on the axle. I wonder how that got there. So, you just take this apparatus, and I don't over tighten it. See, it's already split again. You put any stress on it at all, and it likes to split. I don't know if you can see that little split there, right there. Probably not. But anyway. And then, like just about any other tire truer, you just line these up, and there it is. Ha! More or less ready to go. Alright, so I got my power supply here. It's one of those universal jobs that everybody buys. And this is the positive terminal. I marked it so we get the correct tire rotation. I'm not sure it really matters a great deal, but here we are. And let's see if it runs. Oh, look at that. I'm going to put some sticky feet underneath it so that it doesn't wander away. That seems fast enough. That's about 3 volts. Let's set it for 4 volts and we'll see how this works. Oh. Getting a little resistance now. Looks like one tire was a little bit larger in diameter than the other because I'm not getting much off of this tire, but it's peeling off on this quite a bit. So I'm not sure how precise the clearances are. Feels pretty tight though. Okay, so it has more to do, seems it has more to do with the thickness of this pad as opposed to this one. It's hardly touching over here, but when I move it over here, it touches more. So maybe what I'll do is use a finer grit or harder grit on one side and then just do one tire at a time. But yeah, it actually works, and I don't have 40 bucks in it. Um, some of the hardware is just hardware. Your big expense is going to be this motor, and if you follow his link, it takes you to 2 motors. But if you nose around a little bit there at the Amazon site where these motors are at, you can find that you can only have to buy 1, and I believe it was less than $25. Anyway, that's really reasonable for a tire truer. For a hobbyist like me that doesn't need a professional grade $300 tire truer. So that's that. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your favorite part was. Give me all your comments. I can't think of anything else for couple of things Thursday, but I'm Ted, and I'm hoping you had a good Christmas. Hope you got everything you wanted, and we'll catch you next time. I know it's been a little while since the last time, but I've got another YouTube channel that I have to keep servicing. Check it out. It's Black Pearl Voyager. If you like outdoor camping adventures in remote backcountry places. So, until next time, I'm Ted. This is the BP Slot Racing Channel. Thanks for tuning in.